Friday, whenever I go home, it's just like I always forget. Am I doing my Overwatch League predictions? Stage number 2, week number 2, part 2. We got a bunch of 2s, and we got a bunch of good games coming up today and tomorrow. Alright, so starting today, we got the Boston Uprising facing up against the Florida Mayhem. Alright, I'm going to go out there on this one. I'm going on a limb. I'm going to say the Mayhem get their second win of the Overwatch League. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. The Uprising have looked pretty, kind of in shambles. They lost all 3 of their games. They lost all 3 of their matches this stage. Also, they've lost every single map. 0-12. So yeah, they're in a funk right now. I think the Mayhem have been playing a lot better lately. Even though they're 1-12, I think this is a game that they could win. This is probably their best chance to win a game for the near future. And yeah, I think they're gonna pull it out. This one, I got this one going to 5. I think the Mayhem will edge them out on Helios and get that coveted second win. I guess, yeah, I'll go through maps real quick. I'll go through maps this time. Alright, they're going to be playing on Volskaya, Lijiang Tower, Hollywood, and then wrapping up on Route 66. But like I said, I think they'll go to a Game 5 tiebreaker on Helios, where the Mayhem will pull out the upset and send the Uprising to their 5th loss in a row. This one, I mean, I could definitely be wrong in this one. The Uprising could bounce back and win 4-0. But I guess we'll find out. You know, I haven't been going with upsets as much, and I think I'm going to start picking a couple more. So, going into the second match of today, happening in a couple hours, we got the LA Gladiators, my boys in purple, playing against the number 2 team in the league right now, 10-3. This old Dynasty. So, the Gladiators, ever since they fell to 3-5 after getting absolutely destroyed by the Uprising, ever since they went to 3-5, they've won, then lost, then won, then lost, then won. So, if the pattern holds, they'll lose this. And most people would tell you that they're probably going to lose this. The Dynasty are a better team. They've played together way longer. They've had more success. They have more like individual talent on their team, and their coordination is better. I mean, in this matchup, Gladiators don't really have any or much advantages at all. They're going to be playing on Hanamura, Nepal, Hollywood, and then Watch Point, Gibraltar. So I am tempted to pick the Gladiators in an upset in this one, but I'm not. I'm going to go with the Dynasty. I think that there's too many factors that are, there's too many advantages for the Dynasty. And when these two played in Stage 1, the Dynasty absolutely crushed the Gladiators. It was 4-0. It was brutal. I believe they played was that their second match of the year, I think? Because the Gladiators played Shanghai first, beat them, and then I believe they got swept by the Dynasty. So I think it's going to be a lot closer than last time. I think they're going to put up a fight. That's all I want to see in this one. I want to see their comms improve some more. I want to see more combinations on the 2 CP maps. I want to see more Asher and Surefour together instead of Surefour and Hydration. I think they work a lot better together on those type of maps. So I want to see some of that. I want to see them maybe try another comp or 2. The Diva Winston has been pretty much all they've been running because they're still trying to get the new player Fissure included. So the Gladiators can lose this match, and I'll still be happy as long as I see some progress. As long as they're all playing hard, they're trying some stuff out. They're trying to really gel as a team. If you lose this one, you don't hang your head in shame. Unless they come out and they just don't really try, they get 4-0'd easily, then I wouldn't be very happy. So I'm going to say the Dynasty pull this one out in 4. They went 3-1 and improved to 11-3 in the year. I hope I'm wrong, but that would knock the Gladiators back down to 6-8 going into next week. Alright, so the third match of today The first match starts in like 20 some minutes, so I'm gonna go a little faster on all of these. So another very interesting matchup. The 5-8 Fuel taking on the 9-4 LA Valiant. So the Fuel 2 days ago they played against the Dynasty and they lost 3-1. The first two maps weren't really. I mean, they were kind of close. Like the Fuel, you could tell the Fuel were like really trying, and they were like keeping it respectable. But the Dynasty did win those semi easily, and then the Fuel they even took it up another notch, and they won the third game, and they almost won the fourth game. They almost sent it to a tiebreaker, game 5. I thought they played really well. I think you're really starting to see some of like their better combinations of heroes that they can use. Unless there is like a Reinhardt meta, which I don't believe there's one coming anytime soon, then I think XQC has to be playing most of the time over Coco. I just think he brings a lot more to the table as Winston, and even as Orisa. On Nepal, he had some really nice suck-offs with his Graviton as Orisa. So I think that he's rejuvenated this team a bit. AKM has been very good. Rascal has also been very good since being acquired. So I think they're definitely a team on the rise. And the Valiant are in an interesting position. They're in 5th right now, so they'd be in the playoffs. They're 9-4. They beat the Shock last week 3-1. They must have like been injured or sick or something, because I didn't see Silk Thread or Agilities playing at all. They had Kareev playing damage the whole time, so they were either experimenting with that and they didn't really give the Shock much respect, or those two were just unavailable, because normally you'd see them on the DPS roles like Genji and Soldier, McCree, whatever it ends up being. But their team right now, I don't know, they're a little bit in limbo. I'm not that impressed with them right now. I think the Valiant beat the Fuel 3-0. They tied on a map and then they won the other 3 the first time they played in Stage 1. So I think this could be a good revenge game for the Fuel. Like I said, I don't know if Agilities and Silk Thread both aren't going to play again at all. The Fuel might have a chance here. But I'm going to say that the Valiant win it. I think this one goes to 5, actually. I think it goes to 5. The Fuel have definitely picked up their game. And the Valiant they haven't been playing terribly, but they're also not playing that great. So they're kind of in a strange place right now. So I think this is a good opportunity for the Fuel to maybe try to jump on them. A win here would be pretty darn huge for them. I talked about last week how if they managed to beat the Dynasty, they could throw themselves back into the playoff race. And I think this is a similar game. If you win this one, you're feeling nice. Like you're 6-8. Which isn't a great overall record, but you've been playing way better. You've been competing well against a lot of the better teams in the league. And I think that you got to be pretty pumped going forward. If you lose this one, I mean, you're 5-9 and you're falling back a bit. I mean, the number 3, 4, 5, and 6 teams are all tied at 9-4 right now. So teams like Fuel, the Gladiators, the Uprising, even the guys way on the bottom like the Shock, the Mayhem, and the Dragons, like they need to start winning games if they want to be considered going forward for the playoffs. So very interesting. I'm excited to see how these teams both come out, but I'm going to say the Valiant do hold them off in the end in 5. So moving into tomorrow's games. They're great matchup for the first week, or for the first game of this day. Philadelphia Fusion against London Spitfire. So the Fusion have been probably the most impressive team of this stage. They've won all 3 of their matches. They've beaten very good teams. They dismantled the Uprising. Who's the second team that they beat? I want to say that they were pretty good. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they won their second matchup with relative ease, and then they in 5 in a very close game they beat the Outlaws, who are one of the top teams in the league. So if you're a Fusion fan right now, you are thrilled. You're sitting at 9-4. They're 6th right now in the playoffs. So that would, for the overall playoffs, that would put them in as the last team to make the playoffs. So I think they have a lot of things to be happy about right now. That being said, I think their streak comes to an end here. The Spitfire are also sitting at 9-4. They're, I believe, 4th right now. Like tiebreakers and like map wins and everything. I believe they're at 4th right now. And so this is a very big matchup for both the teams. They're going to be playing on Hanamura, Nepal, Hollywood, and then Route 66. I think this is another one that goes to 5. Lots of close matches this week, I predict. We shall see. But I think the Spitfire are a bit more overall talented, and in the end that's what's going to push them through. But this is going to be a very close game, very well contested, and the Fusion could definitely win this. I wouldn't be too shocked if they do. I just think that for the Spitfire, it's like, okay, we're playing the Fusion. We're tied record-wise right now. If they beat us, we could fall to 6th right now, and I don't think they want to do that. So I think they're going to come out with a lot of energy, and they're going to get the win. Then another really good matchup. Man, tomorrow is going to be amazing. If you have time, watch the matches tomorrow, because this one you got the 9-4 third place Houston Outlaws going up against the 11-2 first place New York Excelsior. Whew. All right, they're going to be on Volskaya, Lijiang Tower, Kings Row, and then Route 66. So I think that overall, I still like the Excelsior a bit more than the Outlaws, but I'm picking the Outlaws here. And the reason why is because of the maps. The Outlaws are on Volskaya, which they looked very good on last week, or yesterday actually. They looked very, very good on this map, so expect them to do well. Map 2 is Lijiang, which I think the Excelsior will take because they're a bit more versatile, and their extreme talent's going to shine through a little bit there. But then on Kings Row, I like the Outlaws. They've looked very good. They have one of the, if not the best, Zarya player on the planet right now, and she's very good for Kings Row. So they're going to be they're going to have a little bit of an advantage there, I think. They can really roll out some good triple tank and even some quad tank compositions, which is well suited for Kings Row. So I think the Outlaws do pull that one out. Then on Route 66, I think the Outlaws actually finish it off there. If this goes to 5, I think the Excelsior would probably have the edge, but I think the Outlaws are going to find a way to win that one 3-1. I'm predicting a lot of upsets this week. This could get rough for my record, but we'll see. Then the last match of the week, you have the 3-10 San Fran Shock playing against the 0-13 Dragons. So this is the Dragons' best chance to get a win in a while. Some people thought they had a pretty good shot against the Gladiators, but then if you saw the first match or the first map of that match, the Gladiators outkilled them 34-2. And the second map wasn't that close either, and the third map wasn't very close at all either. So, yeah, the Gladiators really came out and shelled them. So, coming off of that, can the Dragons bounce back here? I'm gonna say no. I don't think they win this one. No upset here. I think the Shock are gonna win this one. Despite being 3-10, I still don't think they're a terrible team. I think they've been improved this stage, even though they've lost all 3 of their matches. They played against some good teams, and I don't think I said the maps. So it's Hanamura, Nepal, Kings Row, and then Watch Point, Gibraltar. I think the Shock win this one 3-1. It could go to 5. I could see the Dragons, if they play really well, I mean, they could win. This is definitely a winnable game for them. But I think that the Shock really need to win here. They're a team that is not out of the playoffs yet. The overall playoffs, like they still have a fighting chance. They do have some very good players on their team. I think Dante has grown a lot over the course of the Overwatch League so far, and he's becoming a very, very good Tracer player. I mean, he already was, but like for the league standards, he's becoming a very, very good Tracer player. And my Baby Bay can just pop off at any time on the Soldier or Widow or McCree. So I think that the Shack, just based on terms of they need a win. I mean, the Dragons do too, but just in terms of superior team, just talent wise, I'm gonna go with the Shock in this one. All right, so there's the end of Stage 2, Week 2. Next week you're gonna be looking at Stage 3, and I think that's Week 3. Sorry, not Stage 3. Stage 2 still has a couple weeks left. I think that next week is when we're gonna really start looking at the what do you call it? Playoff picture. The playoff picture for Stage 2. I know that's a little confusing because most of the time when I'm talking about playoffs, I'm talking about like the playoffs at the end of the year, like the mega playoffs. But I think that after next week, we're gonna start to see who has a chance to make the final 3 for this stage in particular, and it's gonna get really interesting. So yeah, a lot of great games coming up the next 2 days. I always recommend watching some games, but I would really recommend watching some games. Especially, I think the Gladiators Dynasty should be really good if the Gladiators can come out strong. I think Dallas Fuel and LA Valiant is going to be really good, and then Fusion Spitfire is going to be amazing, and Outlaws and Excelsior should just be epic. So, super excited for that. If you are an Overwatch fan or an esports fan, try to find a way to watch these. You will enjoy them. So with that, I will let you guys go watch the games today, and I'll see you in the very next video.